The voice of one crying in the wilderness, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Prepare the way of the Lord, make his path straight." This is Pastor Casey Ziba, and today we have a special question to answer. Should Adventists follow the advice of Ben Carson? Ben Carson has called Christians to vote for Donald Trump as America draws closer to Election Day. Listen to his words in this video.
And my faith took on new meaning on July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania, where I was knocked to the ground, essentially, by what seemed like a supernatural hand. And I would like to think that God saved me for a purpose, and that's to make our country greater than ever before. In our movement, we love Christians, we welcome believers, and we embrace followers of Jesus. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But at Trump rallies, we don't tell Christians to get lost. We tell Christians to get out and vote. So I'm here tonight to deliver a simple message to Christians across America. It's time to stand up and save your country. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. On November 5th, Christian voters need to turn out in the largest numbers ever. Do you know that if you did that, because you have a reputation of not voting proportionately like you should, you do know that. I think that maybe is a form of rebellion. Could that be possible? If they did, or if Christians did, nobody could ever beat us, nobody. And I think it's very important for the people in this room to know, like Dr. Ben Carson knows, Americans of faith are not a threat to our country. Americans of faith are the soul of our country, right? Early voting is underway, so you know what you have to do. So Christians, get everyone you know and vote. You have to vote, or we're not going to have the life that we should have, a life of prosperity and hope, because it was our religion that kept our country together for many years. It was our religion that kept it together, and they're trying to take that away, and they're trying to destroy our country. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. With your help, from now until Election Day, we will redeem and
Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you all for being here and for being patriots. You know, this election is not about Democrats and Republicans. This election is about whether we are a secular nation or are we one nation under God. And you know, it was a long time ago, but Benjamin Franklin, when he came out of that Constitution Hall after vigorous arguments over how our nation was going to be run, he was asked, "Sir, what do we have here? A monarchy or a republic?" And he said, "A republic, if you can keep it." We've kept it for 240 years, but we're as close to losing it right now as we have ever been at any point in time. We have a Department of Justice that's being used by the party in power to persecute and prosecute their political opponents, something you would expect in Russia or China or Banana Republic, occurring blatantly right in our country. And interestingly enough, we have somebody who's running for president who recently said in a crowd when somebody said, "Jesus Christ is Lord," that you're in the wrong crowd. Think about that. You know, in Matthew 12:34, it says, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh." She didn't have time to think about what she was going to say. She just said what's in her heart. So maybe she's the one who doesn't belong. Maybe that's what we should be thinking about. You know, the other thing that's very disheartening right now is you hear the term frequently, disinformation. That is laying the groundwork for censorship. And we should recognize all of these things that are coming down the road here and how they try to demonize President Trump. Why do they do that? Because they can't really criticize his policies because they know they worked. So now they have to go and say that he's the worst thing since Hitler. And there's a lot more coming because they will do anything to stop him. They've tried everything so far. But here's the thing, as it says in Romans 8, if God be for you, who can be against you? And all of us at this time just have to have the courage to stand. President Trump has courage, but he needs us to be behind him and to think logically. And also, we all have to fight our personal battles. We have to win our war of 1812. What do I mean by that? Proverbs 18:12. It says, "Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility." And we have to submit ourselves to the power of God. Our nation rose from a bunch of ragtag militiamen to the pinnacle of the world because we were people of faith. And there are those who are trying to get us to give that up. Recognize that in the last election, 20 million evangelical Christians did not vote. And most of the close elections in the swing states were determined by thousands of votes, not millions of votes. Think about the power that exists in the people who believe in God. We don't have to be victims. We don't have to complain. We can absolutely control the direction of our nation, but we have to get involved to do it and recognize that we have a responsibility. Now, I know there are a lot of Christians who say, both sides are corrupt, and I don't want to be involved in a corrupt system. I don't want to have to choose between the lesser of two evils. Well, unless Jesus Christ is on the ballot, you're always choosing between the lesser of two evils. And lastly, I just want to say, you know, when I was running for president against Donald J. Trump, at one of the debates, when we were being announced, I couldn't hear my name. All the other candidates walked past me. He came and stood beside me until they rectified the situation. He stood beside me in a time of confusion.
The Church of God is at its greatest peril. Time is no more. Events around us show us that Jesus is coming soon. Jesus is coming soon. Probation of planet Earth is about to close. Instead of earnestly praying to be sealed, instead of earnestly praying for the latter rain, instead of preaching the last message of mercy to a perishing world, Adventists are now mixing up in political issues. In John chapter 18 verse 36, Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence." Brethren, we have a better cause to fight for. This world is not our home. We should not be involved in politics. We should not mix up in political issues. Let us focus on our work. Let us finish the work that God has appointed to us, because time is no more. Jesus is coming very soon. Let us focus on Jesus and finish this work. We should not be involved in politics, brethren. We should not mix up in political issues. The politics of this world are not our message. Watch this message that says, "Should Adventists vote?" May God be with us